I want you to look at two different lives. The first belongs to Ryan. Ryan and Jessica earn around $250,000 a year. Two good jobs, two kids, a 4-bedroom house in a suburban neighborhood with good schools, 3-row SUV in the driveway, kitchen remodeled a few years ago, weekend soccer tournaments, summer camps, after-school programs, unopened Amazon boxes sitting near the stairs. If you walked into Ryan's house, you'd see success. Big TV over the fireplace, matching furniture, family vacation pictures, garage shelves packed with things people say they'll eventually use. From the outside, Ryan looks like he won. But if you looked at Ryan's bank account, you'd see something strange. At 11:52 p.m. on a Wednesday, you'd see a guy making $250,000 a year checking his balance before bed. Not because he's poor, because he's loaded. Loaded with obligations. Ryan is what I call a high-speed pass-through entity. Money enters his account, takes a quick look around, and immediately leaves. Mortgage, car payment, insurance, HOA fees, after-school programs, summer camp deposits, streaming subscriptions, credit cards. Then something random appears. The orthodontist says braces are coming. Soccer tournament weekend suddenly means hotel rooms. Costco somehow turns into $387. And nobody remembers why Apple charged $18.99 again. Before the month is halfway over, most of Ryan's paycheck already has somewhere to be. Ryan doesn't own his paycheck. His paycheck has appointments. Now look at the second life. This belongs to Chris. Chris and his wife earn around $95,000 a year. Smaller house, one paid-off car, older furniture, no recent remodel, no pressure to constantly upgrade. Nothing in Chris's life would make strangers jealous. But Chris hasn't felt that knot in his stomach over money in years. He has emergency savings, investments, and enough breathing room to survive losing a job. Same city, same inflation, same grocery prices, same economy. But somehow, the family earning less than half owns more freedom. This isn't a story about being cheap. This is a forensic audit of something I call lifestyle gravity. Because every purchase starts pulling on your future. You've been told more stuff creates a better life. The math says something different. More stuff creates more maintenance. More maintenance creates more expenses. More expenses creates more dependence. Dependence creates the trap. Today, I'm going to show you 7 principles that can reclaim over $1,000 a month without changing jobs, without starting a side hustle, and without living like you're being punished. Because if you ignore this, you aren't buying a lifestyle. You're volunteering for a 40-year work sentence with heated seats. Let's open the books. The biggest mistake people make is buying something and asking, "Can I afford this?" Wrong question. You're only looking at the entry fee. You're ignoring the ownership shadow. Everything you own costs money twice. First, the transaction. Second, the ownership tax. Maintenance, insurance, storage, replacement, mental bandwidth. Let's run the math. That treadmill you bought for $800, 20 square feet, used 5 times. Congratulations, you didn't buy an $800 treadmill. You bought an $800 treadmill, plus years of storage costs, for a machine that eventually became a clothing rack. Every American garage starts with a dream, then slowly becomes an archaeological site. Camping gear, holiday decorations, paint cans from 7 years ago, extension cords, mystery cables, boxes labeled important. Nobody even knows what's inside anymore. Look around the room you're in. How many things haven't been touched? In 6 months, you're paying a mortgage to store old decisions. Minimalists understand something most people miss. Every object is a tenant. If that tenant isn't paying rent, through utility or happiness, it's stealing from your future. Second principle, apply the replacement test. Walk around your house this weekend. Look at every item over $50. Ask, if this vanished tomorrow, would I immediately replace it? Be honest. That exercise bike? No. That kitchen gadget? No. Those decorative pillows? Absolutely not. These are zombie assets. They stopped creating value years ago, but they're still consuming energy. You clean them, move them, store them, organize them. And Americans are especially good at collecting hobby graveyards. The "I'm gonna start golfing" phase, the "I'm gonna start woodworking" phase, the "I'm finally gonna get into fitness" phase. Thousands of dollars later, the hobby disappears. The equipment doesn't. The boring rich don't have clutter. They have inventory control. Third principle: beware the multiplier. Lifestyle purchases never travel alone. Ryan isn't trying to impress strangers. He's trying to keep up with people he sees every day. Parents at school pickup, coworkers, neighbors, friends. Because lifestyle pressure rarely comes from celebrities. It comes from people standing 10 feet away. A bigger house becomes more furniture, more decorations, more maintenance, more expectations. Then eventually, more stress. Fourth principle: never upgrade because you're bored. Modern companies spend billions making perfectly functional things feel old. Americans replace phones far sooner than necessary, not because phones stop working, because excitement stops working. Your TV still works, your car still drives, your phone still functions. Nothing failed, you just got used to it. Fifth principle: create friction. Delete shopping apps, remove payment methods, wait 72 hours. Because most must-have feelings expire surprisingly fast. Sixth principle: reverse the friction. Automate investing, automate saving. Money you never see doesn't get recruited into lifestyle inflation. Seventh principle: measure wealth by optionality, not accumulation. Wealth isn't first-class seats. Wealth is hearing your boss call Friday afternoon and not immediately feeling panic. Can you leave a bad job? Can you survive a layoff? Can you spend more time with family? Can you breathe? That's wealth. Let's look at the result. Reduce ownership taxes, $300. Avoid boredom upgrades, $400. Reduce maintenance multipliers, $300. Reduce impulse spending, $200. Total: $1,200 every month. Invest $1,200 monthly for 20 years in a boring S&P 500 index fund at a 10% return, and you end up with over $900,000. No promotion, no second job, no lottery ticket. You just stopped letting your possessions pickpocket your future. Let's go back to Ryan and Chris. Ryan still earns more, but Chris owns something Ryan doesn't. When Chris gets paid, his money doesn't immediately have somewhere to be. Ryan still checks the banking app before bed. Chris usually doesn't. Not because Chris earns more, because fewer things are waiting for his money. Ryan's paycheck has appointments. Chris's paycheck has choices. And in an economy trying to extract every dollar, every hour, and every ounce of attention, being boring might be the most financially rebellious thing you can do. This weekend, find 10 things you wouldn't replace if they disappeared tomorrow. Sell them, invest the money, watch what happens. Because you won't feel like you lost something, you'll feel lighter. Because you didn't remove possessions, you removed invisible bills. If you're ready to stop being a pass-through entity, hit subscribe. We're deprogramming the middle-class trap, one video at a time. I'll see you next one.